Israeli-Palestinian conflict at this point is the world's most complicated and difficult divorce. It's a divorce that's been going on for 20 years. The two sides are trying to separate from each other and live side by side, not together, but side by side. You have your territory, I have my territory. The challenge is that when you negotiate for this long with each other, all of the negative dynamics of divorce negotiations come out. They know each other so well, they don't trust each other at all, they're consistently in competition inside the negotiation and looking for leverage, and they know precisely how to press each other's buttons. And all of this creates an incredibly difficult personal dynamic inside the negotiations that makes it very hard for whether it be American mediators or anybody else to come bring this to a conclusion. The best example of how the Israeli-Palestinian divorce dynamics are problematic is the issue of Jewish state. And I sometimes compare it to a piece of china that in the beginning of the divorce nobody cared all that much about, but has now become a dramatic and huge issue that everybody is debating. Why? It started with the Israelis, who in 2000 didn't even think this was a major issue, beginning to raise it as a concern. When the Palestinians heard it was a concern of the Israelis, they decided, well, we're not going to agree to this for two reasons. One is they were suspicious. What are the Israelis up to here? What's the trick? Which is part of this lack of trust. The other is they used it as negotiating leverage inside the negotiation itself. Jerusalem, I equate as the child within the divorce proceedings. It is the most emotionally fraught issue, the one that is most important for all sides. And there is a solution, which is a very inconvenient custody arrangement where everyone is dissatisfied. There is a very difficult chicken and egg problem in the negotiation, which is if you actually talk to the Israeli public and the Palestinian public and you offer them a full, comprehensive, final agreement, it's overwhelmingly popular with both sides. But if you try to offer incremental pieces or rip apart things and just talk about Jerusalem or just talk about territory, you go from overwhelming support to overwhelming opposition. Security is a huge issue for the Israelis in the context of a two-state solution. It is probably, in my view, the ultimate one for them now, especially after what happened when they withdrew from Gaza in 2005 and withdrew from southern Lebanon in 2000, and both those areas became havens for Hamas and Hezbollah. And I believe with strong support from the United States and a lot of discussions and consultations with Israel and with the Palestinians, you can come to a security solution that reassures Israel about its needs for security, but at the same time respects Palestinian sovereignty and dignity. The negotiation is not hopeless. It's incredibly difficult. The reason it's not hopeless is because fundamentally it's in both sides' interests to find a conclusion, and there are no other options that will be acceptable for either side or for the international community.